Hey guys, it's me, Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. It is September 30th, and I wanted to make this video. Have to make it on my tablet. I'm hoping to get some things fixed soon so I can put up some information. A lot of people have been sending me really important information. Before I start this, I just wanted to say that HIRTF, it's part of the Department of Health and Human Services. Well, it's Department of Health Incident Response Task Force, but HIRTF at state.gov, they're taking reports of targeting, reports of microwave targeting, but it's a Department of Health Incident Response Task Force. So I wanted to state that at the beginning. I'm going to do a video just on that, probably, and some other things. Obviously, like all the stuff going on in society, but I want to stick to this NeoRhythm device. It's from Omni PEMF, Omni OMNI PEMF. I think that's the company. It's called NeoRhythm. So you can just look up NeoRhythm. And I want to start off because I want to say everything about it, the pros and the cons, right? But I want to start it off with saying it works very well. It works very well for the remote neural manipulation. It kind of brings me back to myself. It interferes, with the entrainment that my attackers are doing with the remote neural manipulation. A little bit like Dave Case's CD, right? Dave Case's CD goes into the inner ear and it interferes with the biorelevant feedback loop that they're trying to make. Now this NeoRhythm thing would fit on the back of your head, the front of your head, or on the top, and what it's doing is there's certain pre-programmed things like focus meditation or energy and vitality, and now they have dominant frequencies, right, that would give you anxiety relief or lift your mood, right? It's lifting the frequency of your brain, higher frequencies, and then they have a sub frequency, and that's kind of like how our attackers do remote neural manipulation negatively, right? They're heterodyning certain frequencies. There's a dominant frequency, and then there's sub frequencies in that. So a dominant frequency could, be sending a frequency to your brain to lower the resonance to make you depressed or anxious, right? And then sub frequencies to do certain things. So this kind of comes the other way, right? It's doing it positively, so it increases the resonance of your brain. This is like since using Dave Case's CD, what I've kind of learned. This is what I've learned. Not kind of learned. This is what I've learned. Is that a tourniquet for this targeting, for the remote neural manipulation of the nervous system, just the targeting in general. If you want a tourniquet for it, then biohacking your own vestibular system and head, your cranial nerves, and even frequencies directly to the brain, right? Like this is using the cranial nerves to push it through. Then, and I want to talk about that. What's this like without Dave Case's CD, without the noise-canceling hearing aids, right? Because I have the noise-canceling hearing aids on right now. I still use Dave Case's CD. But before I get to all that, I just want to say it does work. It works very well. It's a breakthrough. It's a breakthrough in and of itself, not even a matchstick house to build a log house. Breakthrough in itself, but it's also that matchstick house where we can build a log cabin out of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's a breakthrough. It helps, but with this theory and hypothesis that's been proven over and over again to me and other targeted individuals, right? Biohacking the vestibular system, the eyes, the ears, the cranial nerve is, I guess, wouldn't be considered part of the vestibular system, but biohacking your head with frequencies is like a tourniquet for this stuff. Then add on passive shielding, grounding, supplements, most definitely. Glutathione is going to be an important one for people who. I don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that now. I'll be making videos on some important stuff. I've just got technical difficulties, and it's still been hard with this. Okay, so now we got to go to pros and cons. The pros are that there's so many different prepackaged frequency frequency programs on this thing that you can switch it up and you can adapt. So if your attacker's kind of one of them doesn't really work, you can move to another one. Then it has alpha, beta, delta, gamma. There's another one too, theta, right? That you can use those, but they're singular frequencies. I found that the gamma ones worked really well for me because the gamma ones are making your whole brain work, right? It's making both sides of your brain communicate together very well. So when I use these gamma frequencies, I felt like I really was pulled back to myself. The other ones that work really well, the quiet mind and the open heart, and these are specific frequencies, right? So the pros are very good. It works. It has some cons. It has some problems, right, for us. And I believe that this is the future, right? Because we have to think about what's going on in society, and so many more people. I'll just say this, and I'm going to go over this later. I don't want to speak about these things too much because of YouTube, right? I want this to get up on YouTube because I want y'all to know about the NeoRhythm. There are other kinds, right? Okay, somebody sent me some information on, right after people got the jab, they started getting the high-pitched tinnitus-like sound in their ears, right? A lot of people experience this. And, we talked about that, and we all kind of knew that that was coming, that something that they were going to do, the JAV was going to put stuff in people so that it can be hooked up to them. And Dr. Carrie Madej, if you look on BitChute, just look up Dr. Carrie Madej. One of the great interviews, like the recent ones, was her and Stu, and I think it's Stu Peters. I really like him because he's just like a bulldog. Get through the information. Let's do this. He has, he's a moral man, and he ain't gonna. I want to use he's not gonna pussyfoot around. You know what I'm saying? So so we know those problems, right? And so this is going to be important not just for us targeted individuals now, but for the future about like how to interfere with entrainment of the brain, right? Because a lot of people are going to be entrained. I saw a lot of policemen in Australia, and then I saw, one of the policemen was choking a lady, and then another policeman stomped on a guy's head, right? And then I think, policemen are getting their jabs, and then what are frequencies doing to them, or what were frequencies doing to them before, right? And this is a reality. No matter how many people want to think it's conspiracy theory or whatever, it's just a reality. It's a reality that we live. You guys and you men and women who watch my videos. Okay, so let's get back. I already did that. I didn't want to get onto that stuff. I'll make videos on that stuff, but I wanted to pull up the actual videos and evidence and then talk about them, which is still a no-go. So I'm working on it. So cons. There's some cons here. It's $300. It's a $300 device, right? But once again, it's like it's brought me. Let me just say this. I don't want to get in too much detail about my tailor-made remote neural manipulation and what they're doing with the way I feel and kind of like the resonance they keep in my brain all the time. But you guys with remote neural manipulation, you get this stuff. So this brings me back to myself. They can do things sometimes where I cannot be comfortable. Like they do something to my brain where I can't sit still and it's constant fight or flight. I use this and then I'm like, oh, I get some comfort, right? However, I'm using Dave Case's CD and the noise canceling hearing aids. When I was using neither of them for a while, I was getting the high pitched sound in my ears. This was still working, right? But it wasn't working as well with all of these things that I was using, right? So you guys that aren't using Dave Case CD or noise canceling hearing aids, I'm not sure it will help, right? It's not a theory. Like these entrainment, these positive resonance entrainment frequencies to bring the brain up are gonna interfere with the automated things and the manual things that your attackers are doing with remote neural manipulation to entrain your brain down to a lower frequency and then do all their stuff while you sleep, while you're awake, the external hits and everything. My attackers did start hitting me externally more, and then at the beginning of using this, I went out like 2 days later. And I go outside and stuff like that, but I went out and I had all these great interactions because my energy was better. My brain energy was better. I was up more, right? And people were responding to that. And I was like talking to people. And I had these great interactions out, like out and when I went to the convenience store and I had to run some errands and stuff like that. It felt great. It felt like it pulled me back to myself. So this is an important thing. $300, right? $300. Um, as I'm using it, this is another negative thing about it. My attackers, I've got human operators, so they're trying to like hit me here, right? Switch things up to here. I think they can adapt to some of the frequencies. They can increase the phase frequency and amplitude of what they're doing, right? So we know that we've got human operators and automated systems where they can jack things up and change things up and things like that, right? So it's like a $300 device that it helps, but I've been using it for about 2 weeks, right? I want it to use it for a long time to kind of get past any kind of psyops, but there's still going to be some long term. How are my attackers going to react to this? Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. The heating up of this part, it's like I'd turn off the program because what you do is you have to get an app. This thing has Bluetooth in it. You get an app. I have it on my tablet, so I can't show you guys. You can put it on your phone too. That's why I want it to, you know, they just won't let me put any videos out on my computer. But my mom is gonna give me a phone she doesn't use, and I might be able to show some stuff on my computer from my phone or something. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out. Y'all don't worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm praying to God. Um, just praying to God to like put me where I fit into everything that's going on right now in the world, right? As he has his hand on everything against the evil cult. Um okay, so where was I? Okay, so heat it up a little bit, but then I turn off the program, turn off the tablet. The tablet's right here. Tablet's right here. But I turn off the tablet and then I turn it back on, and then the heat would be gone. But what they're doing, there's a little bit of heat on it now, and this is a concern. It seems like they're trying to wear the battery down. It seems like they couldn't completely shut the battery off by hitting it, but it seems like they're trying to wear it down because I charge it for like an hour and a half. When you first get it, you got to charge it for 2.5 hours. Charge it for an hour and a half. It should have lasted the charge should have lasted about 2 days, but it lasted like 1 day. So my concern is that they're wearing that battery down. Now the problem is you can't open it up and replace the battery. It has a rechargeable battery in it, and the people who make this product, they're not predicting that you're going to have a group of attackers that are hitting you with remote directed energy, right, and wearing down that battery. So I mean, if you guys want to see that as another proof that this thing is dangerous to them, you can see that. But the main thing is it works. It brings me back to myself, and we know that, right? We know that our attackers are using heterodyne frequencies to extremely low frequencies to entrain our brain to low frequencies for depression, anxiety, fight or flight, and those things. So this relieves a lot of that. But I'm using Dave K's CD, noise canceling hearing aids, grounding, and some other stuff. So I want to throw that in, right? Um, and I'm starting to use some supplements that are important. Keeping down inflammation in your body is one of the most important things. So if you can get some cumin or anything with turmeric or curcumin, and we talk about that a lot. I just want to mainly stay focused on this. It works very well. It works very well. It's like the wine. And let me tell you all this. Let me tell you all this story. Um, I drank some Josh wine back in the day, and I drink maybe I'd have a bottle every 2 weeks, maybe one a month or something like that. But it was a specific wine, and it made me feel good for hours, and it wasn't that bad of a hangover. And I was like, and lately I've been going like I'll get like maybe once every 2 weeks. It's not a lot, but I'll get a bottle of wine every once in a while. And I was trying other wines, and they would make me feel okay for about like an hour or something, but then I'd get like it just wouldn't work. Like the my attackers were still in there. So it was like this specific wine, Josh wine, it has to be the 2000, I think 2018 to 2020. Those grapes, the way they fermented them, it gives me hours and hours of just coming back to myself. Now, why I say that is because this thing kind of gives me that. It kind of brings me back to myself, right? And you can use many frequency combinations that are positive frequencies. Now, you don't feel anything. Like you don't feel buzzing or anything like that. You just feel you feel the my attackers are going to go ahead and erase it. You feel the raising of your brain's frequencies. You feel yourself kind of coming back to a better mood and things like that. There's even frequencies to reduce pain, and I've tried those. Those really work. And there's a cooling in my spine even because it's interfering what my attackers are doing to the back of my head. Like they usually come in the back for my occipital lobe, and then that's going around the ears too. It's conducting along the skin to go into the vestibular system. So they're hitting the vestibular system and the back of my head, those cranial nerves at the same time. So I put this thing on the back of my head, and it really interferes, and I can feel a cooling down my spine. Like it's interfering with the whole process that they're doing. Um, it's not perfect. It's not perfect, and it's $300. So that's the bad thing. But I believe this is the tourniquet for this, and I say this. This is not just an opinion. What I've experienced, the tourniquet for targeting, for the remote neural manipulation, the mind control, the pain that they're causing, it is to biohack your vestibular system and around your cranial nerves and frequencies to the brain that you can control, right? This is massive because it's like right now it's canceling out and raising my brain's frequencies, but we can find things and we can add on to this where we can go even past, right? With this technology, they could make us feel they could make all of us feel, I don't want to say euphoric, but yeah, euphoric all the time. They could make us very happy all the time, and increase. Like I find that it's like lower frequencies. They're remote neural manipulation of extremely low frequencies. You're yourself, right? You're still you, but you're kind of a tired, depressed you, right? So you're not the best you can be. Now you get up, you interfere with those and you're balanced, then you're like a balanced you, right? You could even increase that with positive frequencies to where you're a great you because you're thinking better, your mood's better, and everything like that. So that's kind of how I think about what they do to us with the targeting and remote neural manipulation. You're still you, but you're not. Like sometimes I'm not. I don't feel like me because it's not fair that some people. But y'all understand what I'm saying. You're not a good you when you're really tired and tortured and your brain's being brought down to a low frequency, right? I'm trying to think of anything else about it. I would really like to show y'all how many frequency combinations that they have. how many options that they have. It's so many, and I'll wear it all day, right? I wear it all day until I have to charge it, and I think that's why they're wearing the battery down. But I will switch. I'll do when I wake up. I'll do an energy and vitality, and you can put it on, like, if you have a sore spot on your body, you can even put it there. But I just put it on the back of my head for now, and I try that. And I just work with that. It lifts up the frequency, and then I'll switch to like a focus frequency, and you can really feel these things. Like I have a hard time focusing because of the targeting, like a real ADHD feeling, like severe ADHD. And it'll bring me up to where I can focus and do things, and I want to, like, you know, I want to work on stuff, which is hard. I'm stuck because all of my electronics. I don't understand because I have a very small channel. Um, I mean, I'm gonna say important stuff. The main thing about this, well, I'll talk about this on another video. I just wanted to talk about this device, right? So it's NeoRhythm. Now, what I want to say is, if we could find something like this without Bluetooth and that had a replaceable battery that we could replace, it would be awesome. I think that would be the best thing. But me and somebody else were talking and saying, and I kind of agree that you're probably not going to be able to find any of these things without Bluetooth, right? Um, so, but if we could find one with Bluetooth where there's a battery that we could replace, because it seems like my attackers are going to wear down the battery. You know how they wear down the battery in our phone, right? And then you take your phone off the charger, it has 100%, and then it goes down to 10% in like 2 seconds because the battery's not good in the phone. They've cooked it so much. It seems like it's not the same thing. It's harder for them to do it to this. And you can, like, back out of the program and turn off your whatever it's, your tablet or your phone where the app is. You can turn that off. It seems to cut them off. It seems to, but they get back in there. They might actually just be hitting the battery with directed energy, heating up a little part of this to where I can't tell. It's like a little bit heated up. Because they were heating it up a lot at first, and I was like, oh man, they're just going to burn me with the Bluetooth in it. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like you can get. That's another of the negative things about it. So I want to tell you all about it. I want to say it works great. It works great. Not only a breakthrough, right, based off of the stuff that I've learned about Dave Case's CD, the noise canceling hearing aids, but just common sense, right? We're being entrained with extremely low frequencies, and if you interfere with positive frequencies for your brain, the frequency level that you want your brain working at, it works very well, right? So this is a great thing if you're really struggling with things that they're doing to your mind, and lowering the resonance, and you feel depressed all the time and anxious, fight or flight. You can't get any comfort. You don't enjoy things the same way that you used to, right? Even for people who are not targeted, this would be great. And I mean, it's a sad thing because with the technology that they're using, I mean, they could cure depression, they could cure Alzheimer's, they could cure all these things. The brain, we think of it as this electrochemical process, but the electromagnetic frequencies that your body has and that your brain's producing with brain metabolism are way more important. And if you can affect your brain with positive frequencies therapeutically, you can even change the way your brain chemically works. This is beyond what we knew about the brain, and people taking medications for depression would not be necessary because there could be therapeutic electromagnetic frequency things, to get them out of depression, to train their brain to think in a higher resonance, right? To produce higher resonance energy, you know? I don't know if I'm saying that right because it's such a new thing. Trying to think if there's anything I missed, but it works. I waited a while to tell everybody. Sorry about the lighting. This is on my tablet. Can I put on a light? I don't even see a light thing. I'm gonna have to make some videos from here. I wanted to make this one so I can put it up on YouTube and put it up on BitChute too. This thing does work. It's really, really good. It's $300. Maybe we can find some cheaper things like this, but these things really work, and it's specific scientific frequencies to increase the resonance of your brain, and I think that's a tourniquet in this. It's a tourniquet. This biohacking of the vestibular system, the cranial nerves, and the brain, right? To not only interfere, but you start interfering at first, and then you can push past with positive frequencies, right? My attackers do seem to be very worried about this. They're checking the V2K more and more, which I haven't really noticed a decrease in the V2K, but I've noticed less entrainment towards the V2K, if you guys understand that with V2K. Because when they're doing V2K to you, they are entraining your brain to try and focus on it, right? So if you break the entrainment, it's easier for the V2K to be going on, and you can focus on something else and completely ignore it, right? It's unbelievable what they're doing, you know. They get most of their work done. Well, I'll give you all an example. It's not perfect because I haven't been using Dave K's CD for 2 days. I just fell asleep without it, like used it a couple of hours. So after this video, I've got to get on it. I've got to get on Dave K's CD, and I'm going to use this too. But like last night, I fell asleep with my noise canceling hearing aids on and this on, but no Dave K's CD for the second night. And this came off during the night. I'm not sure if I pulled it off or what. I still had the noise canceling hearing aids in. Did I have the noise? Yeah, I think I still had the noise canceling hearing aids in. But I woke up feeling just like jacked up, you know. As I've used this more, they jump back on when I take it off, right? So my human operators, they're working on how to get around this while I'm using it, but it works fabulously, right? So I want to say that, but we understand we understand how this works. We understand there's human operators and automated systems, and it's like you get something that's really wonderful and it works really good, and it's like, they're working on trying to get around it, or seems like them trying to wear down the battery is a sign that they can't really get around it, and it might be messing up some things. It might be messing up some things to where you keep messing them up, and you get your brain more and more free. It feels that way. It feels like it's going that way, but I'm not going to stop here, right? Even though this was $300 and it took a big chunk, it took a chunk out of me. Took a chunk out of me. But I had to do it, right? I had been talking about it before, and then, I can't make videos right now except on, like, I can make it on this tablet. I don't know how they can turn off and freeze my tablet. So, oh god, shouldn't have said that. What was I saying? I was saying, oh yeah. I was talking about this device like months ago, and people were like, nah, don't get that. And I was like, yeah, it's $300, and I don't have that much money. But then, like, I got kind of cut off from everything, and then the world's coming down, and I'm like, well, let's just go for it, right? Let's just go for it. And I'm glad I did. My instincts were right on it. It's really a common sense thing, So I guess if you have used something like this, please comment below. If you're a fake person and you're going to just say, oh yeah, I've used those things and they don't work and you're lying, don't bother to comment, and please go jump in a river, and then go to the bottom of the river. But if you're a real targeted individual and you have used one of these things before, and you want to let people know how it works, that's cool. That would be awesome. Please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Please get this everywhere. Please get this out. And it's not a perfect solution. It is a breakthrough in itself, but we can build on this. There's another device that NeoRhythm has that's a vagus nerve stimulator. So you put it on your arm, right? You put it like on your arm. I think it's like, I have to hold the tablet. but like somewhere on your arm, between your wrist and your elbow, and then that stimulates the vagus nerve with positive frequencies, and that would be a huge thing for me. That would be a huge thing for me, right? To do both of these. I don't know how much that one is, right? So the money is a huge issue. The money is in the pro and cons column, is a con, right? The money is the negative thing about it. Um, but it really works well. Once if I can get everything up, something to show stuff on the screen, then I want to show you all the frequencies. Thought I turned the volume off on that. All right, got it. All right, well that's basically it. I just hope everybody's doing okay. I know everything that's going on out there. I'm gonna make some videos on that, and I think what I'm gonna try and do with BitChute, if I can do it off of this tablet, I'm gonna put anything very, very important that I find on BitChute, post it on my BitChute channel, right? Anything really, really important that I'm finding, but we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight. So God be with you all. God bless you and protect your families. I love y'all. It's working very well. It's working very well. But we know how these things go. We have human operators. It's just like kind of brought me back to myself. Okay, let me give you all another example before I get off of here. Like I'd been using it for the whole day, and I had to go out to the store or something. This was a couple of days after, probably a week after using it. I took it off, and a couple minutes later, it was maybe 5 minutes later, I started getting that anxious fight or flight, right, for no reason, right? And it was real bad. It was real bad to where they were working my brain, and just it was like, like my nervous system felt kind of paralyzed, and it was like right after I took it off. So this was like staving that feeling off, that fight or flight, right? So this is really, really healthy for the brain. And the deal is, like, I use it all the time. I think normal people who weren't targeted would maybe do like a session in the morning and maybe do a session in the evening of some frequencies, right? But for us, we're getting such negative frequencies bombarded at our head that using positive frequencies, around the head, and these are very, very gentle. You don't even feel them. So using very, very gentle frequencies would be, it would be harmful because they're already hitting us with such negative frequencies, right? Okay, guys, I think that's it. I think that's a little bit. This video can go on YouTube, so people on YouTube know. It's called NeoRhythm, and then it's from Omni PEMF. Omni PEMF. And there's other versions of it. There's other companies that sell it too, so you can try and find a cheaper one. I just kind of was like, I got to get something, and it's really helped. And my attackers are kind of working to screw it up, by breaking it.